like, and subscribe for timeless wisdom.
You know that feeling, right? That frustrating gap between knowing exactly what you should be doing and actually doing it? It's like, why do we collect all this information, all this advice, and still feel so stuck? Well, what's amazing is that if you look at ancient wisdom traditions from all over the world, they all seem to point to this universal path, a way to finally bridge that gap. So today, that's what we're going to do. We're going to walk this path together. First, we'll introduce this idea of the wisdom staircase. Then we'll dive into each of the three levels: knowledge, understanding, and realization. After that, we'll get really practical and talk about how you can actually climb these steps. And then we'll wrap it all up, focusing on how to make that huge shift from just knowing to truly being. All right, so let's start with this core idea for today's whole discussion: a staircase. I know, it sounds simple, but it's such a perfect metaphor for this journey. It's all about moving up, step by step, from just having information to embodying this deep, life-changing wisdom. And this really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's the thing that drives so many of us nuts. We read the books, we listen to the podcasts, we know all the right things to say, but our actual lives, our behaviors, they don't really change. Why? Well, the answer is all about understanding that you can't just leap to the top of the staircase. You know, what I think is just so incredible is that this isn't some new idea. It's universal. You look at Buddhism, Taoism, Stoicism, Confucianism, they all lay out the same basic three-level journey. Yeah, they use different words like hearing versus knowing versus study, but they are all pointing at the exact same fundamental truth about how we grow and transform as human beings. Okay, let's start at the bottom step. Level 1, knowledge. This is the foundation, right? It's the starting line for everyone. But, and this is a huge but, it's also where most people get off the ride. So what do we mean by knowledge? Well, in this context, it's purely intellectual. It's the stuff that lives up here in your head. It's the facts you learn, the concepts you read about, the advice you hear. You're basically just collecting the raw materials for change. The information is there, but it hasn't gone any deeper. And you know, Confucius just nails the essence of this level. It's about mental clarity. It's about taking inventory of what you actually know and being honest about what you don't. It's like drawing a map of your own mind. But here's the crucial limitation of step 1, knowledge. It's like being handed a map to an amazing treasure. That map is awesome. It shows you where to go, it shows you the path, but just holding the map in your hands doesn't actually move you a single inch closer to the treasure. So, if level 1 is just having the map, what's the next step? Well, that takes us up to level 2, understanding. This is where the journey really starts to get personal. It's where your mind begins to connect the dots. Think of understanding as the bridge that connects a general idea to your specific life. This is what happens when you stop just collecting more information and you start to reflect, asking, wait a minute, what does this actually mean for me? You start linking that abstract stuff to your real life, to your own patterns, your own cause and effect. And this level is all about asking those deeper questions. It's a huge shift from looking outward for answers to turning the spotlight inward. Instead of just knowing a concept, you start digging into your own programming. Why do I really do that? What's the belief underneath this reaction? This is where real insight is born. I mean, check this out. This is a perfect example of the shift. Knowledge is just that generic advice. I should stop overthinking. But understanding? That's the light bulb moment. Oh, my overthinking isn't random. It's a strategy my mind uses because I'm terrified of losing control. See the difference? One is an order, the other is a revelation. All right, so after knowledge and understanding, we get to the top of the staircase. This is the final, most transformative level, level 3, realization. This is the real goal, where wisdom stops being something you do and it becomes who you are. At the level of realization, something pretty magical happens. You don't have to try to be patient anymore. You don't have to force yourself to be disciplined. It's not a struggle. Those qualities just become a natural, effortless part of you. The teaching has literally moved out of your brain and into your bones. Let's use anger as an example to make this super clear. At level 1, knowledge, you just know, okay, getting angry all the time is bad for me. At level 2, understanding, you reflect and you start to see, I get angry when I feel disrespected. But at level 3, realization, that same situation happens and the trigger just doesn't work anymore. The reaction itself is gone. This is the ultimate shift. We're not just talking about a new thought pattern here. We're talking about something that feels almost physiological, like you've been rewired. A truth gets so deeply integrated that it becomes part of your nervous system. You are literally transformed from the inside out. Okay, so now we have the blueprint of the 3 levels. The big question is, how do we actually climb this thing? Let's get practical and look at the path forward. But before we look at the way up, we have to be honest about the biggest trap. Why do so many of us get stuck spinning our wheels between level 1 and level 2? We keep learning more, but nothing fundamentally changes. Why is that? Well, the roadblocks are usually things we can all relate to. For one, we confuse thinking about changing with actually changing. We want the prize, wisdom, without the price, which is often discomfort. We avoid sitting in silence and really looking at ourselves, and we're always chasing the shiny new idea instead of going deeper with the lessons we already have. So the way forward has to be a conscious, deliberate practice. Step 1, seek out good, solid knowledge. Step 2, you have to carve out time to reflect on it and build that personal understanding. And step 3, you have to get out there and practice it, apply it, and pursue that realization. And as you can see, it's not a straight line, it's a cycle. You're always looping through these steps. All right, let's bring this all together now. How do we take this whole framework and make this journey from knowing to being our actual everyday reality? And this is maybe the most important thing to remember. This path isn't just for monks on a mountaintop. It is for every single one of us right here in the middle of our messy, modern lives. The formula is always the same. Seek truth, reflect deeply, and practice consciously. So let's just recap the whole journey one last time. It all starts with knowledge. That's the intellectual piece. From there, through real reflection, we move to understanding, where it becomes personal insight. And finally, with practice and experience, we arrive at realization, where that insight becomes an embodied truth, a part of who we are. So, there you have it. The path is clear, the staircase is right in front of you. The only question left is the one you have to ask yourself. Which step are you working on right now, and what's your next move?
Like and subscribe for timeless wisdom.